it's me again. I've just done a scrape of that one koi which was looking a bit ropey. I think we've got on top of the cost here, but I've just done another scrape and yeah, I'll show you, shall I? That's the sample I managed to get. As you can see, it's a good thick amount. It's lifted slightly as well because there's that thick of it. Added a drop of water, mashed it up a bit and stuck it in there. So this is the first thing I found on the scrape. The first thing, once I'd got the lens focused. And as you can see, we still have the flukes. Absolutely hundreds of them. So I'm at a loss really as to what to do. I know I need to treat. Oh look, there's probably millions on that fish. Can't see any cost here though, so that's a bonus. Let's just zoom in. There's a close up. Just make your skin crawl, don't they? And it's still only skin flukes, but they're still causing so many problems. And I know there's one particular person who has commented on my previous post regarding the flukes about just leaving them and trying to not touch them. But what do you do when your koi is sulking and you think it's going to die? But I'm sorry, I'm going to treat them, but I need to identify them first. And that is what I've done. So as much as I love the theory of just leaving them be, trust me, I would love to do that, but in the current circumstances I'm finding it hard just to leave them alone. Especially when you get greeted with this. And salt doesn't work on flukes. I've used flubanol at double dose. I've used Superverm, I've used praziquantel from Duncan, Fluke M, Fluke P, Fluke S, what else? The Prazi, what is it? Not praziquantel. Learnex, that's it, Learnex Pro. Anything which has had flubanol based treatments obviously doesn't touch them. So I think what I'm going to do to try and reduce the mucus layer is I'm going to do a couple of days course of CT, just to try and reduce any bacteria load which might be affecting the fish and causing any raised scales, and also to try and strip that mucus layer off. Look at those two scrapping with each other. You can see they're certainly lively little buggers. Let's see, zoom in on maybe these two here. need to refocus. There you go, so that's quite a good close-up. You can see the hooks which they use to hold onto the host, and those two, if you look closely in the bodies, again, have got babies inside them. You can see the mouth hooks. Same with that one. So if there's millions and millions of these flukes on this one fish, imagine how many more there's going to be in a few days. And I can't just let them sit there and do nothing about it. So I mean, thankfully the Costia seems to have been knocked on the head, so that's one battle I've won for the moment. So that was one of the parasites which has got a really high mortality rate. So that's the edge of my slide. Just have a little follow-up of where it's going. See if I can find the corn. Look, there's all these flukes. Loads and loads. Extremely lively. I mean, I'd have to be completely blind to miss this and think the slide was clear. And even an inexperienced koi keeper would be able to see that these aren't right. That's the corner. Let's go across the top. Another. I mean, generally I do a full scan of the slide. But I'm guessing by the amount here, if I was to try and count every single one, it'd be in the thousands, and I'd probably lose count. So this is like literally just on the edge of the mucus scrape, so it's where the free flowing fluid is, and that's the actual mucus. So if you had a really thick mucus layer, you may still be able to see things moving, but it'd be really, really subtle. So that's why it's important to sort of like mash that skin scrape up and get a bit of water on it from your pond, and then scan the entire slide. And if you find that one slide is clear and you're pretty sure that that fish is okay, then take a scrape off another fish. If you need to do like 4 or 5, I've done that before I've actually found what could be causing a problem. Then at least you've widened your search field and you've got more chance of finding out what's going on. But yeah, as you can see, loads of them. You can see them, more of them. All of them with babies inside them. Right, I think I've seen enough. So as you can see, there was loads of flukes on that slide. I'm just gonna get my chloramine tea sorted. Just need to make sure prep everything first. So I need to turn off the UVs, turn the trickle off, and add it over a course of an hour. So I'll just get on with doing that. First lot of CT. into the outlet directly to the pond. Pour a bit of water of it in. That's for a shower. Leave it there. Every 15 minutes I'll put some more in until that's gone. So here they are. That's the one. As you can see, it's quite mucused up, but it's not looking as red compared to the other one. It looks like it's got a coat of cotton wool all over it, but it's still eating well. Sorry, my windows are a bit grubby. So it's still swimming around with its buddies. I've just had to pull out a dead scale as well while it was in the bowl. That's where it had been flashing. And the others. There she is. The others are all looking alright. This pond's 7 foot deep if you're wondering, and there's 2 returns on that side where that tan shows sank is coming up. So I'm not sure if I've actually explained to you how this scope works. So if you're looking at buying one, always make sure you've got a mechanical stage, which is this bit, and that's controlled by these 2 little knobs here, so it can bring it forward and backwards and left and right. So if I show you what I mean and put the slide on there, that holds it in, so it's quite a smooth action. You'd always start on the lowest setting, which is that one, and that's 100. Always make sure you've got a light you can turn on and off, and it's handy having a dimmer switch as well. Mine's there. And on the bit underneath here, you can see this bit here is the iris, so you can turn that to open the iris up. So that's it open, and then that's it closed. That adjusts the brightness as well as your side, so that will do your fully bright right down. I normally have it around here, and I'll adjust the setting accordingly. So if you need just a tiny bit more light, just turn the iris a little bit and it'll let more light through. So the slide is on the mechanical stage. That grey thing, this holds your slide in place. As you can see, it's shaped, so your slide fits perfectly in it and it's held by the arm there. Once you've got your sample on, try and locate the corner, and you'll be working your way across, looking through the eyepiece as you go, and you aim to scan the entire slide across. So like that all the way down on the lower mag, and then you'd flip it round and do the higher mag. So this knob here at the side, that adjusts your plate going up and down. And this bit here is more of a fine tune. And there's your eyepiece. I think, yeah, if you're left-handed you can still use it as well. maybe not so with your mechanical stage, so you might just have to flip that round. I'm not sure if you can do that or not. But yeah, that model's a Philip Harris. I got it in the sale, bargain, and it comes with a cover. So yeah, that's a bit of how the scope works. As I mentioned in previous videos, you can get a little camera which actually goes in there, or you can get the phone mount. God, I'm a broken woman. It's about 20 past 10 and I've not long been home. Got the last load of blocks laid and now I've got to try and salt bath a fish. There's a salt bath. There's 8 gallons in there and 3 ounces to the gallon of salt. Then we're gonna bath the trigger fish. So it's in the salt bath. I'll do it for a couple of minutes until it starts rolling over because it can be quite harsh. Salt bathing can be really good for any wounds they've got. So I'm hoping that with this one being covered in flukes that this will actually dry them out a bit and give the treatment a chance to work. So I'll do another few seconds and we'll get her back in the pond. So I did the salt bath yesterday and that fish is actually looking a lot better. It's not as furred up. Definitely an improvement. Let's see where it's disappeared now. Oh, there it is. Seems to be a bit brighter. Right, I've just finished work. In the process of doing the next fluke treatment. So this time I am using Fluke P. Let's see how that gets on.